guys, I want to show you how to practice a concept and get it into a song. I'll be doing this on a song called Solar by Miles Davis. Let me jam a little bit just to get into the mood of that song, and then I'll show you like a simple idea that you can use and how to practice it. Okay, so here goes. I mean, it's kind of hard to stop in the middle of these ideas. It's fun to play on, and let me show you how I would start doing this. And today I'd like you to get into like the pipeline from a beginning to an end of musical thought. So here's a really, really simple musical idea. It's this. Okay, it's really 3 notes, and I want to show you all the things you need to know about using these 3 notes to get at a successful musical idea. Okay. First step is called conceptualization, which means if you're playing 3 notes, I'll demo it on this. Conceptualization means that you have a way of thinking about these 3 notes that you can later recall very, very naturally, because when I'm playing, I really want to be thinking about nothing. But on the way to that, I have a very clear idea of how the object is mapped on the guitar. And because I see it in a harmonic context, then I can think about it easier. So for me, these 3 notes, C, D, and F, are really D minor without the 5. So it's a 7 of D, the 1 of D, and the flat 3 of D. I hope you see this. Okay, and that means that it's kind of a harmonic object, meaning it's a bunch of notes related to a chord. This is helpful for me because when I want to manipulate it, I think of it as a chord structure. So let me show you, in the case of C major 7, how that shape looks. Okay, it's B, C, and E. And I can really see the major 7 half a step below the root. I can see the tonic C. And on the next string, I can really see the major 3rd, which is E. This helps me because if I'm going to have to play on a C7 chord, I know to move my 7 half a step down. And if I'm playing on a minor 7 chord, I know to move the 3 to flat 3. Okay, so conceptualization means that I see my chord or my melodic idea in a harmonically meaningful way. It's more than just notes, okay? And if I'm playing Solar, I would actually play it like... Okay, so all I did here is I just played that formula of 7, 1, 3 on all the chords. Okay, and that really helps me create a bond between the shape and the chord, okay? And basically I'm using it in the most fundamental way, which is extracting its harmonic relationship to the chord and playing it as is. Okay, this is a very, very important step, because if I want to like bebop it a little bit or get like something cooler for a bop context, I can actually look for all kinds of formulas that help it sound more boppy. For example, I can take the shape and add some approach notes. So like all I did is add double chromatics from above. Now I get okay, so see, that helps me again really ground the chord. So call that a first step, which is abstracting what the chord is and using it in its most fundamental context. So after conceptualization, which is again the step where I simply have a comfortable way to see the chord, comes drumming the chord. Drumming the chord means actually finding a very flowy, fun picking pattern for it. So if the shape is basically this, I would define it also intervallically as a 1, 2, 4, or a beginning note, a diatonic second above it, and a fourth above it. I would actually find a very flowy fingering for it. I like to use hammers and pulls, so I do this. I've just learned how to drum it comfortably. Then I'll learn to drum it from the top note to the low note, like this. This, which I call permutations, or reordering of the notes, gives me a lot of melodic variety. Okay, so that's a very important step. And once I have the drumming pattern, I would actually learn it diatonically, which is basically playing it first left to right on the guitar and bottom to top. Okay, just getting the flow. Okay, like I've explained in the tiny piece of paper that changed my life. You can look at that for just the more details on how to map the shapes on a guitar. What it means at this point is I have a shape which I've related to a chord, and I know how it moves, for example, in C major, up and down. Okay, that's really a lot of work. The next step would be to actually prepare myself for moving the shape in a more sophisticated way, which means disconnecting it from the root. So it no longer will be 7-1 of 3, 7-1 of each chord. 7-1 and 3 of each chord. It'll actually be like a complete motion in the relevant keys. So if I'm playing on Solar, I know I have to play, like the first line has B flat major for the C minor, Dorian, and then I have to go to F major, and then I have to go to E flat major, and then I have to go to D flat major, and I would practice each key separately. That was like the C minor or the Dorian. Then I practiced the F major. Then I practiced the E flat major. I practiced the D flat major. Okay, and once I have all that up and running, let me do like a super slow solo that you can play along with me. I mean, if you practice this, I hope you're faster than me, because this stuff takes me like 20 years. Not talented to do it quickly, but I can eventually do it. So what I'll be doing is just take this simple shape, and instead of thinking about it in the context of a chord, I'll be thinking of it in the context of the key. So I'll start on B flat major, and then I'll just play. I'll move the shape with the accidentals of each key. So here goes, very, very slowly. Okay, so that step was basically seeing the shape not as a single entity in a chord, but seeing like a whole scale attached to it. And the way to do this is to practice the shape very, very slowly in all the relevant keys to your song. And that does a lot. Once you're kind of okay with that, I recommend you look at how the shape functions in a more interesting way on each chord. And that'll be the final step for today. So instead of thinking of this as 7, 1, and 3 of C minor 7, let's think of it as a formula that approaches a higher overtone of the chord. Okay, it's the same intervallic structure, but now I'm turning it into the 9, the 3, and the 5 of the chord. Now it gives me more variety in terms of the overtones. So I'm playing really. And the key to doing this is readjusting your harmonic formula. So before it was 7, 1, and 3, and now I'm thinking of it as 9, 3, and 5 of each chord. So I'm really looking for my 9s, and then going to my 3s and to my 5s. And of course later I can mix, which is really fun. Again. Okay, so that's a bunch of stuff that you can do, and note that it all comes from a single harmonic idea. And the key is think about melodic material as something precious that you don't want to waste it. So you're kind of thinking, okay, what's all the stuff that I can do with this? Okay, and try to look for everything you can do. So I hope this helped you. I really suggest as final steps, take these simple ideas and try to apply them to a simple song. Okay, let me leave you shredding some solar in these funny impossible tempos, and thank you for watching, and please feel free to ask questions in the comments. Bye bye guys.